Hello everyone, welcome back to the video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the biggest major of the year in the Ludwig Smash Invitational. This is the most stacked tournament maybe ever in Smash, just in terms of raw top players here. Like maybe it's beaten by like Evo or something, at least for Ultimate, but it is incredibly stacked. Almost everyone here, and it would be easier for me to list who isn't here. So players that we're missing is Esam is not here, Bloom is not here, Hiro and Yoshidora are not here, Apollo Kage not here, and then a couple other people here and there. But from everyone that's like super like insane competitive, like top like 30 contention, they're essentially all here. Like maybe a couple others I'm forgetting, but it's insanely stacked. So the way that this works is it is an ultimate LCQ, and it is going to be the top 64 or 64 people are in the LCQ, and the top 8 make it through toward the pools, and it's going to be Swiss pools. If you don't know how Swiss pools work, I'll make a brief little segment to that when we get there, but I'll leave a description or video in the description where Last actually talked about the Swiss pools, because I think he did a phenomenal job at that. So let's just get right into this. Looking at the bracket right here, you could see insane. And we're just going to go very quickly over all the players. Luis, Jake, Quinn, Lemon, Goblin, Nexus, Mr. E. I was going to say WoW. Jazzo, Shine, Void, Ven, Ouch, Rickster, Quandale, Justice, Limo, Rat, AC, 8-Bit-Man, MVD, Atlas, Ondric, Krieg, Ned, Char, Sinji, Hungrybox, Peepnut, Kyle Young Dio, Yoni, or Yanni, Grandmaster, Jackal, Choco Taco, Stroder, Frog, Waddy, Samuel, Skittles, Dagpo, Send, Rubik, Zurzel, or Zorxel maybe, Marvelous Marco, Base Mage, Splash Daddy, Chase, The Six Masters, Shattuck, Saint, Loaf, Peanut, Karama, Dragoneel, Nico, Xavier, SkyJ, Pepperoni, Doorstop, MFA, Big D, Lavender, Ling, and Cryos. Now this alone is an incredibly stacked tournament, like just super strong. But then you consider that these are like the people that are like quote unquote not good enough to be in the top 24 that have already been selected, which just shows again how crazy it is. Luis is the first seed, which I do 100% agree with. I would definitely have him as first seed. The only person that I would maybe have in contention for it is Ned, because Ned has been doing incredibly well as of late, but it is definitely Luis. And then Jackal being second seed makes a lot of sense too. Shattuck third seed as well. He's been doing very well lately. Lima as well, fourth seed, makes a lot of sense. SkyJ fifth, yeah, I can see it. And then Ned fifth, it's fine. And then Jazzo, Sen. I am a little surprised by Jazzo in fifth or seventh, because I feel like actually maybe I just missed. Maybe Jazz has been to some majors that I just missed, because I feel like we haven't seen a ton from him since Summit. There's an H in there somewhere. Where's the H? It is right after the A. We haven't seen a ton of him since Summit, or at least I think it was. And granted, his Summit performance was amazing, but is it amazing enough to get over players like MVD is in there? We'll get to who else is in there. So no, he hasn't had a major since Summit, where he did beat Myron and Gluto, granted. Like, those are insane wins. So I think he should be at least 9th. But would I have him over Ouch or Peepnut? Base Mage, honestly, is probably who I would slot over him. Again, no disrespect to Jazzo, I could definitely see him making it there. I would just have Base Mage. I think, even though Base Mage hasn't been doing, like, insanely well lately, he's just been, like, placing really consistently in a bunch of tournaments. And I think he's really, really good. Someone that could make it in, because we're not going to talk about everyone in this bracket because there's so many people, but people that I think have a chance to make it in that aren't in that top 8 are, like, Base Mage, like I just mentioned. Ouch, I think, has a very good shot. Even though he did have a pretty subpar performance at Battle, or, back in Blood 5, it was, like, not great. He got, like, upset by Jajaja, and I think Nico as well here. I guess we'll take a look at that right now. But I think Ouch has a super high chance. We're going to take a look at his bracket, and I'm not going to predict him to overperform his seed, because we are still going to do those two things, so that we'll get to Swiss Shields or the Swiss pools. But I think Ouch got 17th or 25th at back in Blood 5, which isn't great, admittedly. 17th losing to Jajaja and Jared is king. So not amazing, not terrible, but I think he can do it. Goblin could also probably do it. Peanut as well. Peanut has been playing very well recently. Just like second at Riptide is really, really good. Karama, Wadi, like these are all amazing players. And then we have Ondric from out of region is really good. Void is at a tournament, and I think Void has been playing Fox. And I am going to predict that Void overperforms his seed, because I just like him. I have a ton of faith in Void. I've been watching like his stream. He has been grinding this game, and usually it's just like, oh, I think they're going to do it because their bracket's good. No, Void has been clearly putting in the work, and I think he has a pretty good chance to overperform. I'll take a look at his bracket, though, before we say anything crazy. So he's supposed to play Ven in winners. That is tough, because that is a really good Zelda player, but definitely doable. And then Jazzo is also tricky, but I feel like Void would actually do pretty decent against Shotos. I think his playstyle kind of fits that. And then Ouch, I mean, I haven't seen Wolf or Void play a good Wolf in a while, but I think Void would have pretty decent Wolf experience. He does play Wolf a bit as well. And then he has he had Charlie King as region. Also, shouts to Charlie King coming back, by the way. I don't know if I've ever done that. He's just a sick player. Glad he's back. And then he beat Zachary. Like, that was like a really long time ago, granted, but he clearly knows the matchup. So we're gonna have to see. It's gonna be interesting if he goes mainly Fox, like I said, or mainly Sheik. I think, unless something changed, it is going to be the Fox main and then Sheik for counterpick, and then maybe he brings out the Joker or Pichu at some point. I doubt we'll see the Pichu, maybe the Joker, but I think it's going to be mainly Fox and Sheik. But it's going to be sick, and I think Void has a pretty good chance to overperform his seed. And then someone else that I think is guaranteed to overperform their seed is Jake, because Jake is seeded last overall in the LCQ. I think Jake is dropping out, which is why he's seeded so low. But if he's not dropping out, then that's just a free thing. I will take that. He's absolutely going to overperform his seed. But that one doesn't count. Someone else that I think could overperform their seed is MVD. MVD is amazing, and he also plays Lima. And Bayonetta Snake is hard, really hard. And that's assuming Lima makes it to MVD, because Lima also has to play AC. Lima got a very unfortunate bracket, even despite seeded high. He just got some bad matchups. He definitely can beat AC, and if he beats AC, he's clearly good against Snake. But MVD is a different type of Snake. He is like that level up. So we're going to have to see. But then in the Ditto as well, I imagine MVD wins it. I don't actually think I've ever seen MVD do the Snake Ditto, because the only time we would have seen it with Shogun is, or as of late at least, Shogun went Fox and did win that. So maybe AC has a nasty Fox as well that he brings out. Or Falco maybe? I don't know. I feel like AC used to play Falco at some point. But actually, does AC play Falco and Rat play Snake? Because I think AC plays... No, he does play Snake. Okay, I was going to say, he plays Meta Knight? Maybe he brings out the Meta Knight, though. Like, he didn't like the Ditto against Paulo Kage, it looks like. So, we could see it. That could be definitely interesting. But anyway, I think MVD will also perform his seed. I also think he has a shot against Ned. But let's say he doesn't. He does have to fight Pima, and Mega Man Snake is not a great matchup. It's not terrible, but it's not great. But it is doable. And then Ness, because he would run into Sen. Ness Snake is bad. Real bad. But MVD is also very good at the matchup. He has beat Sen in the past before, and he definitely could do it. So those are my two, MVD and Void, to overperform their seeds. And there is a ton more players here that I'm barely going to get the chance to talk about. I would highly recommend you go look at this bracket down below, because we have, like, arguably the most important thing to talk about, which is going to be the main event. Oh, I clicked on Melee. Shout out to Melee as well. I think this is probably going to be, it should be Melee centered, well, maybe a bit of both. But it's going to be, it's super stacked for Melee as well. What a great tournament. But here is what we have. Actually, let me pull up something really quick. Alright, so I have pulled up here how Swiss Shields work, just because like I didn't get it until I saw this video. So the way it works is everyone starts off 0-0, and then the people that go 1-0 go into the group, and the people that go 0-1 go into a group, and then the people that go 0-2 go into a group. And if you lose in the 0-2, you are out. If you ever get 3 losses at any point, you are out of the tournament. You are donezo. But if you get 3 wins, you are also done for the tournament. So the way it works is either first to 3 wins or first to 3 losses, and people with the same win rate, or like set win ratio, is going to be in the same group. So people that are 1-1 are going to be in the same group. People that are 2-1 are going to be in the same group. 1-2 and then 2-2. So some people will be eliminated on, I assume, Saturday is when this is going to be run mainly. And then this is from last Twitter as well. Be sure to follow him, because he has an also very good understanding, or not understanding, but I mean, he did seed, so if you have questions about seeding, I guess you can ask him and Aiden. But he also talked about Swiss. Like, if you didn't get it, he has a very good video on that. It's somewhere on his Twitter. I'll leave you a link to it as well. Then also follow me. Just good personality in the community. But here's what it's going to look like. So it is going to be Light versus LCQ seed number 8. It is going to be Shootone versus Mutes, Spargo versus LCQ seed number 1, Onin versus Myron, Riddles versus LCQ seed number 5, Meisters versus Siski, Cola versus LCQ seed number 4, and Tweak versus Mars. And then we have Cola versus LCQ seed number 7, or Aquila, sorry, Zomba versus Osimo, Gluto versus LCQ seed number 2, let me get rid of that, Leo versus LCQ seed number 6, Shonix versus Chag, Cosmos, Zach Ray, T versus LCQ seed number 3, and DeBuzz versus Ken. And then also right here, I'll pull this up really quick. Sorry, last one, we need to silence your beautiful voice. This is just like a quick what the seeding is. So Light is first seed. I do agree with it. We'll get to that in a second. Aquila is second seed. Leo is third seed. Riddles is fourth. Cola is fifth. T is sixth. Then we go Gluto 7th, Spargo 8th, Onin 9th, Sonic's 10th, Tweak, DeBuzz 11th, Tweak 12th, Zachary, or Meister 13th, Cosmos 14th, Zomba 15th, Shootone 16th, Mute 17th, Ashimo 18th, And then where are we? It's like a puzzle. Zach Ray 19th, Siski 20th, 21 on Mars, 22nd on Ken, 23rd on Chag, 24th on Myron. Because if you don't know, Myron did fill for Proto Bonham because he was supposed to be going to this, but unfortunately he couldn't make it. I don't know if he had, I think he had like a prior condition or something. Doesn't really matter. The point is he can't make it, so now Myron is going to be filling. I think Myron was already in the LCQ anyway. He just got bumped up. So I think absolutely valid. Everyone in here especially deserves to be it because I know when this list was like first made, it's like, oh, maybe players like Mars and Budace, like just as an example, they haven't been playing as well. Maybe they shouldn't be in this top 24. But then Mars won a major and then Budace top 3 to major. So I'll give it up. They absolutely deserve it. I thought they deserved it the whole time because I like both their play. They're both amazing. But looking at pool number 1, I think the people, because I think 8 people are going to be eliminated from each pool. Here, let me check that really quick. Alright, so Last cut me up. Thank you very much, Last. Appreciate him. Again, go follow him in the description down below. Aiden, everyone that worked on this, Ludwig as well. I mean, you're probably already following him. He doesn't need it. But everyone that worked on this, absolutely follow them because this event's going to be amazing. But the way it works is 16 people will be eliminated and 16 people will move on. So 8 people from each group. And I'm not going to even bother trying to predict people from LCQ. We're just going to go from looking at the groups right now who I think makes it through. So this is group 1. The gimmies are Light makes it through, Onan makes it through, Spargo makes it through, Riddles makes it through. So that is already 4. And I think Meister and Cola are pretty close to gimmies as well. So that is 6. So that leaves Tweak, Siski, Shootone, Mars, Mudace, Myron, and then like a bunch of other players as well. Which is, damn, some of them aren't going to make it through. Who did I had 2 spots left? I think one of them goes to probably Shootone realistically. It does depend who he has to play. He plays Zomba first, I think it was. Here, let's see. Let's see. I hate having to refer to Last so often, but I need him. No, he plays Mudace first. And Mudace, they didn't play at, what's it called? Le Odyssey. So, we're gonna have to see it later. Let's check their head-to-head, because, like, that's gonna be very important. Mudace. Because I think probably Mudace will be my last person to make it through. That'd be my guess. It'd be him or Tweak, right? But Tweak is, it's so hard to choose. He has only played once and he did lose 0-3. But that was like at Frostbite, which is like a very long time ago. Pre-quarantine, it barely counts. So even though I said it would count for Void there, but whatever. I think Mudace has a good chance. I think Shuton has a good chance. But, like, the only people I'm super confident are is Light. Light definitely makes it through. I will be in shock and awe if Light doesn't make it through. He's the first seed after all, which is, I think, 100% deserved, by the way. He has, what? He has a second at Summit, a first at Glitch Regen, and a second at Big House. And then Leo is, like, what people, like, he's usually the first seed. I think that's the first time he hasn't been first seed since 2019, which is kind of crazy. But Leo just coming off a ninth at Summit, which is not great. And then before that, he got a 5th at SmashCon. So he's had 2 pretty underwhelming performances. And then Light also got 2nd at SmashCon. So again, Leo, underwhelming performances. Light playing very well. I think his first seed is absolutely deserved. I think maybe more contention could be for Aquila for first seed, because Aquila has also been very consistent. Like Aquila has a 1st at Maysuma 9, a 4th at Summit, and then a 1st at Maysuma 10 as well. Which again, sorry, I will get to that tomorrow. I promise. I saw the bracket about today, and I couldn't wait no longer. I have to check it out. But I think Aquila could be considered for first seed, but I do think it is between Light and Aquila. Does this mean Leo's not the best player in the world anymore? No, absolutely. Does it mean it is a huge competition for best player in the world? Yes, and I think that is so sick. It's like, we've almost never seen that at all. It was like right at the start, and now we finally get to see it. But maybe Leo just brings out the Joker and farms everyone, because that is a huge possibility. So we'll have to wait and see. Like, so many storylines. But anyway, back to this pool. Yeah, Light, I think, is a pretty big gimme. Spargo, he should be a gimme. He was playing really well at Summit. He was getting really good wins. Is he a guaranteed? It's like, yes, but on the other, I don't know. But he probably, actually no, he probably will get it through 100%. Tweak, honestly, the same thing. Looking at Tweak's play at SmashCon, or not SmashCon, definitely not SmashCon. Looking at his play at Summit and Big House, he was like looking incredibly clean, just very poised. And I'm going to give him a gimme spot. And then Onan is like, Onan, come on. Riddle's just come off his win at Big House, playing Kazuya as well. The Kazuya looks really good. And I think he'll probably do fine there. Meister has been playing phenomenally lately, honestly. Meister is Meister had a bad performance at Big House, but it's like, sponsor curse. Like, I'll allow it, I suppose. But he has been playing really well recently. Just like super consistent. Like, definitely the most consistent he's ever been. I'd say this is the best Meister's ever been playing, which is like super sicky. And he finally, again, I just said he got the sponsor curse, but he finally got a sponsor as well. Super deserved. He hella earned it. And a good one too. And then Cola as well. Cola is tough because I will say a lot of these people do pretty well against Cola. Or at least it feels like they do. Like Riddles does pretty good against Cola. Light does very well against Cola. Onin probably beats Cola. Mars and Cola go back and forth. What is? I should just look up Cola instead of speculating. Sorry for the ad. If I could turn them off, I would. Let's see. Actually, I guess I could just get YouTube Premium. Whatever. There is a solution right there. Let's see. How has he done against Shootone? He is 1-0 against Shootone, will be my guess, at Smash World Tour. He's 2-1. They played at Double Down as well. So he beat him the last 2 times they played. But this was at Little Big House 5. Which is Big House 5? Oh, Little Big House. That must be Little only. That's a long time ago, though. That's pretty dang old. But the only times they've played, like, recently is right here. And Cola did win both times, so he has a pretty good chance against Shootone. Mars is going to be tough, but I also doubt he has 2-2 with Mars, and he did lose the last time they played. Oh, he won the last time they played? No, he lost. That was right. Okay. It's gonna be tough because I honestly don't imagine Mars and Cola run into each other. Actually, let's see who Cola plays first, because that's gonna determine a lot. Cola plays, he plays an LCQ. So difficult, but he probably then goes into the winning bracket, and then Mars plays who first? Mars plays Tweak first, and Mars does not beat Tweak. Well, it's not impossible. Do I think it's gonna happen? No. Because Mars has a terrible set record against Tweak. I don't know if he's ever beat him in Ultimate. And they've played at least like 5 times. Tweak, he is 0-7 against Tweak. They haven't played in like a year, but it is bad. And he plays him first. Unlucky draw again, but that's going to separate from Cola. So Cola's not going to have to worry about that anymore. Mutace, he goes back and forth with, but I think he did beat Mutace the last time they played. I suppose I can just check. Mute Ace. No. Oh wait, this is Mars. Oh shoot. I guess we'll pivot to Mute Ace. Then we're just going through the players. We'll look at Cola. Oh wait. No, he gets destroyed by Cola. Okay. So Mute Ace probably loses to Cola as well. So yeah, look at the matchups. Cola has a pretty decent chance to make it through. So for the last time, this 3 cap, then we'll move on to the next pool. I think Light makes it through. I think Spargo makes it through. I think Tweak makes it through. I think Onin. I think Riddles. I think Cola. I think Meister. And I think Shootone. Crazy how I did like all the top 4 that skipped Siski. No disrespect to Siski. I just think everyone here is amazing. And then most people here actually do pretty decent against him. But yeah, that's what I think. Obviously, probably an LCQ person is going to take one of these slots. And probably Mutace is going to take one of these slots because he's crazy. So we'll have to see. Like, I don't know who would be best in this LCQ. I think Ouch would struggle. He has lost to like 3 of the people in here already. I think Luis has a decent shot. It's gonna be super tough, and we're just gonna have to see. But moving on to arguably the more contentious group. Group 1 was like the easy one to decide, and I still spent 5 minutes on it saying I don't know what's happening. Now we move to Group 2 because this is where it gets crazy. Because this is where we have Aquila, Leo, T, Gluttony, Sonics, Debuzz, Cosmos, Osimo, Zachary, Zen, Ken, and Chag. Oh my lord. So who I think is gonna make it through? Aquila, gimme. Leo, gimme. T, gimme. Gluto, gimme. Zachary is a gimme. It's like he had a really bad performance at Meisuma. But I don't want to count him out just because of one bad tournament. Like, he won Wanted, then had one bad one. So that averages out to him at least making it through pools. Maybe he doesn't make it through. Honestly, he probably doesn't make it through on winners. I should have talked about that as well because I think it's 4 players make it through on winners and 4 players make it through losers. So winners people for the other side, I think Light makes it through winners. I think Riddles makes it through. I think Spargo makes it through. And I think probably Meister makes it through, if I had to guess. Or no, Onin makes it through over Meister, probably. But moving on to this one as well. People that are going to get through winners are Aquila, Leo, T, and Gluto. Actually, Leo, I don't know, I was debating it. I was thinking maybe Leo doesn't make it through. Yes, he does. But it's going to be interesting to see who Leo plays, because this this tournament has a lot riding on it. I've been saying that for weeks leading up to it, that there's so much storylines, but if you don't know what the storylines are, whoever wins this tournament between Light, Leo, and Aquila is the best player in the world, and I think it's pretty hard to deny it. And that is a lot of pressure for all of them, but for especially Leo, because getting to the top of the mountain is hard, but staying at the top of the mountain is way harder, and Leo's managed to do it for so long, and I know he doesn't want to let go of that spot right now. So it's going to be super close. I don't know if he brings out the Joker. I feel like he should. If he wants to prove himself, or prove people, not to himself, because he already knows he's the GOAT, but prove to everyone else that he is still the best player in the world. You want to do your best performance, and Joker is probably the thing you can do the best performance with, but also maybe it's the Byleth. Maybe he refined the Aegis somehow. I doubt it. Maybe the Rob is crazy. Maybe he brings back the Ike. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be good. And then moving on to someone else, Sonics has a decent chance. I will say Sonics, this is a tough draw. I think Gluto does well against Sonics. I think T does well. I think Leo does well. I think Aquila does well. I think all 5 of those players would do pretty well. DeBuzz does very well against Sonics. Cosmos, here, let's look at Sonics'. Look at the stats. I feel like we haven't seen Sonics in a little bit. He had an underwhelming performance at, I think it was, I forgot what it was. I think it was SmashCon. But obviously, like a ton of people had underwhelming performances at SmashCon. He can't be too upset about it. But then he had a pretty good performance at, what was it? I keep forgetting the names of everything. Glitch Region, he got 3rd, which is like pretty good, only losing to Light and Zomba, and then, or Light, Kamehameha, and then getting Zomba and Kamehameha wins. And then right here, he had it was a Smash Gun, which was not great. Lost to Apollo Kage and Mr. E. But let's see his win record versus people. I want to check Gluto first, because I think he does bad against Gluto. He is even against Gluto, and he did win the last time they played, so not impossible. Leo, just for gigs, 11-7. Honestly, how many of those are online, though? Okay, yeah. I was going to say, no way they played that much, right? Who else is in there that I have to look at? Aquila? I feel like Aquila and him haven't played, and actually, I know they haven't played, because they haven't been to any same tournaments. Also, sick that Aquila is in an open bracket for the first time. Who else was I wanted to look at? I think it was Cosmos I wanted to look at. Cosmos, yes. Cosmos, he has never played, I think I put a space at the end of that. He's never played against Cosmos. Why can't I search it up then? Oh, what a bait. How dastardly. Zomba, that's going to be tough for Zomba. Zomba does, like, he does pretty well in these formats typically. He's up 0-2 on Zomba. Zomba does do pretty well in these formats typically, but he does have a pretty tough one. Osimo, I feel like definitely beats him. Ken, has he ever played against Ken? Keb. Nope. So there's a lot of people that Sonics actually hasn't played against. And Zachary, he's never played. Shag, he's probably up on Shag, I have to assume. Yeah, he's up 1-0 on Shag. Oh my god, I turned up my audio so high. Sorry about that if that interrupts the quality of the video somehow. But I think Sonics has a decent chance to make it through. I do think he would make it through losers, probably. But it's not impossible to make it through winners. Just like, he has to beat at least one of his demons. And then the next person that I think is really scary is going to be Osimo. Osimo has a really good chance to make it through winners. I think he has a pretty good chance against Ken. He has a good chance against Chag. He has a good chance against Sonics. Even though I don't know if I said he had a good chance against Sonics earlier. But now, even if I am contradicting myself, I think he has a good chance against Sonics. Zachary is tough, but definitely doable. Zomba, he's a very good chance against. Cosmos did just beat him at Leo to C, so that's going to be tough, but not impossible. DeBuzz, I feel like DeBuzz would do really well against Oshimo, just like that kind of playstyle, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they won't even have to play. Like, so many of these matchups that I'm saying he would do well against, he might not play any of them. He might just go into T, and then he might go over. Who's he play first, actually? We know that, at least. Osimo plays Zomba first, and I think that is someone he has a pretty good shot against. So, Osimo, I'm going to have it. He makes it through losers. That's my prediction. The next is going to be Zach Ray. I also think Zach Ray makes it through loser just because he did have a bad performance at Maysuma, but he's still an amazing player. Just everyone else above him is amazing, and they've been proving themselves consistent. Even though Gluto also just had a bad performance, I guess, at Leo to C. So both redemption terms for Zach Ray and Gluto, which is kind of sick that they're in the same pool. I don't think they would play against each other for a little bit, though. No, Gluto's against LCQ, and so is Zach Ray. And then the final player, what do we have? We had Aquila, Leo, T, Gluto, Sonics, Osimo, Zachary. So we have one more. And I'm going to give it to DeBuzz. DeBuzz has been incredibly consistent lately. I think he has a good chance. He has a very good chance against Sonic. Who's he playing? Is he playing LCQ? He's playing Ken. I think he has a really good chance against Ken, actually. And by chance, I mean he should beat Ken. Hold on, let me zippity boop over to the Buzz. Oh. I don't know when I feel like I haven't seen Ken and the Buzz play in a really long time, actually. Which is not super surprising because Ken does travel time. But he is up 2-0, and okay, they did play at Double Down and 7-3. I forgot Ken was at 7-3. Oh my god. But this is like still a really long time ago. This is more recent, and the Buzz did win, so I think he has a pretty good chance to win that. I think he does take it over Osimio, like I said earlier. Zach Ray is Zomba, he should win. Cosmos, he should win. Actually, I don't know how DeBuzz does against Cosmos as well. Cosmos is definitely the wild card of this group, by the way. I have no idea how he's going to do. The last time they played was at... Oh, wait. DeBuzz gets destroyed by Cosmos. I forgot about this. Okay, hopefully he doesn't run into Cosmos. But low-key, he should have won this set. He just fumbled the bag so incredibly hard. But... doesn't mean he can't do it again. Probably uses Minmin. I think he uses probably Minmin Rosa for this tournament. Or that'd be my guess as well. I don't think there's a lot of people you would use Almar against here. Maybe Oshimo, but I don't know how that matchup would actually be. I just think Shutone did it. But also Shutone lost with Almar, so clearly Oshimo was good at the matchup. But I think DeBuzz will be my final person. So we have Oshimo, DeBuzz, Zach Ray, and Sonics qualifying through losers, and then Gluto, T, Leo, and Aquila qualifying through winners. And obviously, Cosmos is the wild card, as I said earlier. So is Ken, honestly. Ken, Cosmos, and Zomba, they could all do it. And then Chag could do it as well. But Chag has a bunch of people that I think do really well against him, which is just really unfortunate as well. But that is the life of being not a super high seed. Kind of the same thing with Myron earlier. I feel like I barely touched on him as well. But hey, I usually get things... Actually, no, I always get things right in this video. So if I get a single thing wrong, that means I was just joking for views and impressions. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If there's a player you want me to go over, I know I didn't touch on the LCQ as much, and there's a ton of amazing players in there that definitely deserve some recognition. Please let me know down below. I'll be sure to look at them for sure. Meisuma video, it is coming tomorrow. I swear. I wanted to make this one. This is going to be sick, but Meisuma was also great, so be excited for that. It's coming, I promise. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to sub, all that yada yada, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.